Oh. I was expecting someone from the nursing staff, to be honest. What are you saying? I don't look like I could be a... What am I saying? What are you saying? I don't look like I could be a spy. No, this is more like a relief. I was afraid he would have someone to watch my every move. Unless you are here to do exactly that. No, I'm here for my own reasons. The nurse just asked me if I had seen a messy-haired transfer student, the bastard, who looks like he's kinda lost around the track. So why are you down here? Emmy strikes a dramatic pose. Training? For what? Track. I see, you're on the track team then? Emmy nods enthusiastically. Yep, I'm one of the better runners too. And modest about it too. Hey, you should join up. You can kiss my ass. It's good, you can kiss my ass even more for that. It's good exercise, you know. I think that much activity is probably out of the question for me. Nah, I'm not sure that I really like running all that much. Plus, I'm not into organised sports, you know. It's true, I never really got that much into soccer. I mean, I'd run around with my friends and all, but that was really the only reason I ever played. It wasn't for the glory to be found on the field, that's for sure. Emmy seems to understand my meaning. You better. I see. Not that into the whole organisation thing. Out of 13 on the end. But now that you're here, I guess we're going to run together, huh? What? Sure, I guess. Emmy seems pleased. Are you going to warm up? Obviously. Real men don't warm up. Oh no, you should always warm. You always should warm up. Bet it's up. She's getting close. She scolds me enthusiastically, but then smiles and leans closer. I hate warming up too. She laughs suddenly. Heck, and I don't even have to stretch my legs. I don't know. No, don't. As if to confirm a statement, she bounces it up and down a couple of times, giving a passing impression of standing on a pair of springs. Her leg blades seem to be quite elastic. Let's go. Charge! So we both take off around the track, and I can immediately see that she wasn't lying about being good at running. Emmy moves fluidly, throwing herself into the run with a sort of wild abandon. I find myself concentrating more on running properly. Hands spread, right? And something about hitting on the balls of your feet rather than the heels. I try to match my stride to Emmy's, but it's pretty difficult. Apparently I'm not very good at it. Maybe Emmy can help me with that sometimes. I'm really not feeling up for more than a couple of laps today and slow to a walk pretty quickly. Oh god, it's froze. Is it? No. Okay. Emmy keeps running and doesn't seem to notice I've stopped until she passes me a second time. She quickly skids to a halt, breathing steadily in contrast to my own somewhat gasping demeanour. Finished already? I hang my head ruefully. Yeah. I'm not in very good shape right now. Emmy nods and then grins at me again. She seems to do a lot of smiling. Well, the important thing is you started, right? Next time you just have to try to hold out longer, and then longer and longer, and eventually you'll be great. I'll keep that in mind. But I think right now I'm going to get ready for class. Shouldn't you? What? Emmy shrugs unconcernedly. I don't know. Unconcernedly. Nah, I've got plenty of time. I noticed that she's wearing a watch. She's not wearing a watch. Are you sure? Another careless shrug. Not really, but I've got to finish my routine. See you later, sir. Yeah, see ya. I'm not sure whether this morning's experiment was a success or failure, but I'll admit that I do feel slightly good about getting out there this morning. And like Emmy said, I just need to keep at it in order to get better, right? Practice makes perfect or something like that. It's nice to at least feel like I've taken some balance of control of my own health. I'll have to try to keep this up. I head back to the dorms, wash and change into my uniform, trying to resist the urge to take a really long and hot shower. I'm tired from all the running, so I just want to unwind, but I don't want to break my slowly building routine of getting to school before the morning rush. But right now, I have to get to class. Be right back. I'm back. Fecking water. I'm the first person in class today, although I think I'm a little too early. Then again, sitting alone here for 20 minutes sure beats having to suffer that time with Kenji. Oh dear God. I wonder if I can put that episode on YouTube. Even if it was censored, but still. The combination of fatigue, frustration and boredom starts making me feel very tired. I black out for a second, waking up when my head hits the surface of my desk. Rubbing my forehead, I realise this is a good reason as any to stay up for now and stop coming to class so early. Eventually I hear a tapping noise outside in the hallway, and Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. She's not in this class, so she must have some other business. Maybe she's looking for Hanako? Lily stops at the door, looking hesitant as if she was a vampire who can't come in unless invited. I consider doing so because she looks rather lonesome standing there. She steps in on her own accord though, after straightening her skirt and shirt collar as if it was of importance to look prime when entering our classroom. Oh my God, she looks very sad. Excuse me? She calls into the quiet classroom with a probing, delicate voice. I realise the silence might unnerve her because of her blindness, so I break it. Good morning, Lily. Isao, good morning. I didn't hear you come in. I wonder if she thinks it's suspicious. I didn't say anything to her before. It's likely if I were to tell too big a lie now, it would sink me. Well, I was already here, just asleep until now. Oh, have you seen Hanako today by any chance? No, she seems to come in only just before the bell rings, or after that. Do you want me to tell her something for you? No, it's fine. It's strange, but I think we're the only two people in the school right now. I didn't hear anyone else on my way here. I shouldn't have gone up so early today, I guess. You're chastising yourself for doing something that other people should. Punctuality is a good thing. I think so anyway. It's a very busy morning today. The festival is coming up soon, and today is the deadline for event registration, budget reports, and any other official paperwork. It could be that everyone is trying to complete the necessary forms at the last minute. Maybe that is why it's so quiet today. Oh my Jesus Christ! Hi! Bloody rhino! Misha pops into the room with Shizune as if on cue, shouting with a loudness that makes Lily visibly flinch. Hi, Hee-chan. Hi. ... Look, it's the class representative. Hello. Lily smiles, probably amused by Misha or Shizune's use of the word look. Good morning. Dot dot dot. Of course you're not the representative of this class, right? Right? I'm not. Lily seems a little more guarded in her answers to Shizune than she was with me the other day. I guess they really don't get along well. Then I realised that Lily might actually not know Shizune is present, and she's trying to detect whether or not she is, to know who she is talking to. For all she knows, she's talking to Misha, but knowing that she and Shizune are practically inseparable, she might expect Shizune being the one that actually talks. Damn, how complicated. I decided to help Lily out for my own peace of mind more than anything else. You're here early, Shizune? Dot dot dot. You were here earlier than us. Misha puffs out her cheeks angrily. Why is she getting angry? Does she feel emotions on Shizune's behalf too? It's not that weird though that Shizune didn't like my little comment. It's true I was here earlier than then, so me saying something like that could definitely be misinterpreted as anything. Especially to Shizune, who doesn't have the benefit of hearing tone to gorg intent. Before I can start weighing whether or not I should apologize, Shizune has already moved on. Dot dot dot. Class rep, it's a good thing you're here. We have to talk. Dot dot dot. The festival is coming up in 3 days, right? Every other class has already handed in their project budget reports for their events. Even the first years except you. What? There is still time to hand it in, isn't there? Oh my god, that face. Today is the deadline. The deadline is today. You're certainly taking your time, aren't you? If I had it my way, I'd have all of the necessary paperwork days ago. But someone had to say, the deadline. Please extend it. Yes, that was me. Planning something on this scale is not a small task, and a week is too small a time frame to expect a whole class to work out such a complex issue completely. Dot dot dot. Do you want to know what's harder than distributing the funds for one class event? Handling the same matter for every class in the school and then some. The one who does that is me. Misha puts her hands on her hips and stands up straight. Wow, she is really getting into the role. Lily doesn't look like she's very amused though. Hey Shizune, aren't you being a little too hard on her? There's still a whole day left. Please, Asao, it's alright. Lily seems happy I'm taking her side, but a bit conflicted that I might not think she can take care of herself. If this is about the budget, then I'm disappointed you think I have forgotten about it. I understand how important it is. Dot dot dot. Then can I have it, please? Shizune, she might not have it on her at this exact second. It's not here right now. I asked 2 students to take care of it for me, students from my class. She emphasizes the last sentence, much to my surprise. She knows how Shizune and Misha's efforts to rope me into the student council. I guess word must have gotten around, so she's using me as ammo against Shizune. This just gets better and better. Oh dear God. It was your responsibility. A budget report isn't something you should just be delegating away. As class rep, it's your job to be on top of things. This kind of disregard for paper procedure is really just terrible. They completed it, being capable of doing so, but the students had been sick recently, so they could not come to school and give it to me. If you want, I will apologize on their behalf again. Sick. Oh dear God, this is gonna explode. Okay, what? Although Misha misses Litley's jab entirely, Shizune doesn't, and she seems torn between being offended by Lily daring and jumping for joy at the prospect of a challenge. Dot dot dot. Lily, don't they live at the school? That's a 5 minute walk, you know. What could they possibly have that prevents them from taking 5 minutes out of their busy lives to drop off something that will affect the enjoyment of their entire class? Lily opens her mouth to say something, but Shizune closes the gap between them and starts signing furiously, waving her hands around like an orchestra conductor. Misha tries her best to convey the same passion, but can't seem to lose her normal cheerful tone. The result is interesting and somewhat surreal. ... And what's with that attitude? I said that not something you should be delegating away. Are you the class representative or aren't you? Tell me the names of those two students. They should have your job if you can't even handle something this simple yourself. One form isn't the full extent of what I'm supposed to take care of. Lily's tone has grown slightly impatient, but she is doing a good job of not letting Shizune see how unsettled she is becoming. She's playing her cards close to her chest. Shizune, on the other hand, wraps her fingers cheerfully along the edge of her glasses, knowing Lily can neither hear nor see how excited she is. Oh yeah. ... Of course you do so much, class rep. It must be so difficult being new. Lily tightens her lips at Misha's words, clearly understanding the intent behind them, even though Misha delivers them without even a hint of sarcasm which they were meant to have. Shizune and Lily don't like each other. That much is clear. But this seems a little much. It seems like Lily has had enough and is ready to push back. Oh my god. I was actually just discussing the budget reports before you came by. You must be very tempted to have finished all your student council duties so quickly that you can track me down to make sure I don't forget my own. Are you accusing me of slacking off? It seems like you're confusing me with yourself. I don't think so. That would be a very difficult thing for me to do, comparing myself to you. You're right, the difference between us is like heaven and hell. And it's not hard to guess which one you might resent. Ooh! Indignation! The air between them ripples with the heat of their enmity. Well, not really. They can't disguise it anymore, though even Misha looks like she's beginning to understand the real nature of this conversation. Sad face. Ichan, don't you slack off either. I beg your pardon. What? Are you talking to me? ... Aren't you taking part in the festival, Ichan? You are, aren't you? Then I hope you're going to do a lot more to make sure it goes smoothly than this person. I don't understand why Shizune is suddenly getting mad. That's not very nice. When in doubt, save it out. Don't drag me into this. I've done my part. Wait, what the hell have we done? Hey, come on, cut me and Lily some slack. Yeah, let's be nice. Hey, I'm the new guy, remember? It's not like I could have done much, even if I wanted. That's right. You shouldn't expect a transfer student to jump right into it on his first week. Lily taking my side feels oddly comforting, so I decide to back her up too. Yeah, you're being unreasonable with us both. ... Excuses. Miss Class Rep has had plenty of time to deal with her report. We repeatedly offered you a position to help with the student council work, but you refused to commit yourself to making the festival a success. Yeah, but as I said back then, I'm not sure if... I don't have time for this right now. No matter what I do, it will mean being drawn into a confrontation with Shizune, and that is what she wants. Whatever, forget it. I turn my back at them. Lily, class is going to be starting soon, so we can talk more later. I'll tell Haruko you were looking for her. I can feel Shizune Shizune freezing. Maybe this is the first time she has ever been ignored in such a blunt manner. Thank you, Sao. I'll leave now then. She gives me the sweetest smile I've ever seen all week and turns her heels to make her exit. Victory! Da, 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 da. My singing is beautiful, leave me alone. As soon as Lily walks out the door, I suddenly start feeling reluctant about returning to face Shizune. I can feel her eyes burning into my back, and can't bring myself to look at her. She must be furious. I keep expecting Misha to say something to alleviate the tension, but it really isn't wanting too much. In the end, I go back to my seat and listen to the sound of Shizune's footsteps as she marches out of the room. She doesn't return until a few minutes before class. Hanako doesn't come to the morning class at all, leaving her seat looking empty and lonely in the back of the classroom. I have to tell her that Lily was looking for her if I see her later. After the events of this morning's class is pretty boring in comparison. I turn the pages of my textbook lazily. I have a bit of catching up to do despite trying to keep up with my studies at the hospital, but I'm not feeling that enthusiastic about it. The clock at the front of the room sounds unbearably loud. The teacher hasn't said anything in over 7 minutes, instead opting to cover the board in rows and rows of equations taken directly from the book. The rhythmic clashing of chalk on the blackboard seems to synchronize perfectly with the ticking of the clock. I start to copy down the equations just to pass the time, even though they are right there in the textbook. Hold on a minute. That should be better. When the bell rings, I'm not in a hurry because I have nothing to do, so I stay for a while reviewing what we can covert in class today. I prefer to leave last anyway, so I don't have to deal with the crowding in the hallways. I notice Shizune Misha has also stayed behind, talking to someone from another class. Shizune is signing so fast her hands make noises like swords cutting through the air. Maybe there is a pent-up anger in there. Misha is trying desperately to keep up, but it's clear she can barely manage to even understand her. I put my head down, whatever they're discussing, it looks like serious business. Shizune signs to the point where her wrist crackles, and Misha struggles to spit it out in word form. Sometimes she trips over herself like she's dealing with tongue twisters. I've had a lot of that through this playthrough. And then on top of that, she has to sign back anything the other girl says. Seems like a rough job. Misha looks tired, like she's about to faint. Luckily for her, their business is soon finished, and the girls sit down on their seats again. Ah, I'm so tired. She's hanging her head limply on her desk, looking exhausted. I use the opportunity to reconcile with Shizune a bit without getting roped into the student council thing again, though I suspect that the door is now closed to me. Festival preparations must be tough for you. Indeed, the people in the school seem to be taking the festival very seriously. Whenever I see people idling around before or after class, they're always talking about their plans for it. It's kind of neat to see everyone being so enthusiastic about it. I'm probably the only one who doesn't have something to do. Shizune scoffs at me first, as if trying to decide whether to ignore or sneer at me, but in the end she starts signing without doing either. Misha perks up, looking at her hands with slightly unfocused eyes. ... She signs with harsh, heavy, dramatic strokes. Misha translates her signing into speech for me. She does it so well, it's almost like Shizune is actually speaking, transmitting her thoughts directly through Misha. She must have practiced it vigorously. Well, of course we're in student council, you know, so we're pretty busy. ... It's an important duty of ours to ensure the success of the festival with all our strength. ... We would shame ourselves in front of the past student council generations if the festival were to fail. ... That's why there must be no flaws. No, I think that was encumbrances. No, that might not make the festival sort of perfect. No, nothing that might make the festival sort of perfect. Jesus, Mary in heaven. Susanne's passionate speech and Misha's enacting are really oddly fitting of them. Oh, hello. Why'd you blush? Oh, it's Hanako. Nice music. I look over my shoulder to see Hanako peering timidly out of the classroom, most of her body hidden behind the door. Hey, playing delinquent again?